you do it, don't you do it, don't you do it. I love you. And we're gonna teach you guys about these awesome, beautiful, misunderstood animals. He had her in a house, and he had a big enclosure. Dude, look at the contrast of them with this lighting. It's just so... Let's feed the chickens, and let's get in that snake room. My big old beautiful female. She's awesome. And even though he kind of has a couple little holes right here where he's already broken his shit out a little bit, other than that, he's doing pretty good, right? No, it's not Venomous for real, bro. She's a sweetheart. Look at this. She's not gonna hurt nobody. This is what the snake room has looked like. Other than that, she is such a sweetheart of a lizard. It's okay. Oh, I just got whipped in the forehead. Any heavy-bodied snake, these hooks just make it so easy. We're here to spread love and learn about these amazing creatures. The next step, look at the lighting here. Like, what? It's just so awesome. What is going on, my YouTube family? How the heck is everybody doing? Obviously, you guys have realized it's been a very slow start to this year. It's not how I planned it. I'm a human just like all of you guys. Go through the same struggles. I'm no different, you know? So it's hard when this is my job, filming my life on camera and showing you guys. It's real windy today, if you can't see. Very windy. I'm a tattoo artist, obviously, but my other job, my passion, my life, my love, is to educate you guys. The reason why I do what I do is to spread love and awareness to these animals that have been misunderstood their whole lives. Lots of people are scared of reptiles, lots of people are scared of snakes, even people are really scared of birds. And so the whole reason why I got started in this whole thing in the first place, not only Chandler had a great factor into it, he's one of my best friends and does it. And I've always raised animals and had a lot, and I've always really enjoyed educating people on the animals that I have and bringing people to my house, showing them really cool snakes and kind of losing that fear and giving them more of an appreciation for some of these animals that are kind of frowned upon by a lot of people and scared by a lot of people. It's been really hard. Seasonal depression is a real thing. November was great, but then the holiday season comes along, triggers some things, you know, and kind of puts people down in the dumps, makes it real hard to do things. And we're getting back at it, guys. And then losing Brian, that whole experience of watching every vlog, hearing all of his updates. Brian is somebody that I talk to not every single day, at least 3 or 4 times a week, especially with the new Riders Ranch channel. That's probably the last conversation I had with him. He was just telling me how awesome of an idea it is just to kind of do a whole new family channel and show you guys that whole aspect of my life. And you know, losing Brian has been really tough, man. I can't imagine how his family has felt, you know. Obviously, we had a lot of heads up. Everything was just so terrible, you know. That last story that Brian posted had me in freaking tears. It just really puts life into perspective. As amazing as a life Brian had, all the things that he accomplished, and the main thing about Brian that I look up to so much, dude, he never stopped. Even when he got diagnosed. Most people, when they find out things like that about their lives, they get diagnosed with deadly cancers and diseases and stuff. It's really off-putting and super sad. And it makes it hard to wake up every day and continue life and work like everything is totally fine. So, hats off to Brian for not only handling it the way that he did, but just pushing through every day. Even him going in and out of the hospital this entire time, he never stopped. He was still putting out videos. He was still putting his life out there for all of you guys to know about and to keep updated with, which is one of the hardest parts about doing this job. Being a YouTuber is not all rainbows and butterflies every single day, you know? You guys know a lot about me. You guys know a lot about my personal life. You guys only see the highlight reels on this. Like literally, you guys only see like the good and the fun times. You don't really see the hardships and the things that we go through on a daily basis. Even in my position. But instead of running away from them, you gotta take the bull by the horns and you gotta make the best out of the situation. And not only the best out of your situation, but the best situation for your family. Because even though Brian is gone now, he still worked so hard up until his dying days to make sure that his family is taken care of with the legacy aquarium and everything. And not only did he make sure his family was taken care of, but he's making sure that his followers and everybody that looks up to Brian is taken care of. They're still gonna open up the legacy aquarium, which I personally, I'm gonna be at the opening of that 100%. I don't care when it is, I don't care what's going on in my life. I'm gonna take the time off. I'm gonna take the girls up to Michigan, and we're gonna be there for Brian. Because it was devastating, man. It just put me, it was really, really rough. I remember watching that video. I got to work the other day. He just posted that video in the morning, his goodbye video. And dude, it had me bawling. Like, I was hysterically crying at the shop, like hiding in my station while my client was sitting up front on the couch. My client flew in, I think Ohio or something. And I almost canceled him. But then, you know, I thought about Brian and I was like, what would Brian do? Brian wouldn't stop. Brian wouldn't cancel. Brian would push on and like still make things happen, which is one of the best attributes of that man. He's just such, and he had problems too. That's another huge reason why Brian was such a idol to me, was because not only did he make great videos about taking care of animals and stuff, but he also talked about his personal life a lot and his personal struggles, you know, even though a lot of people don't like seeing videos like that, him talking about his depression and all that stuff, you know, like he still put it out there for you guys, just to let you guys know that, dude, we're regular people. We're just like you guys, except we do our lives in front of a camera and put our business out for everybody. This video I want to dedicate to Brian. I loved him. He was nothing but good to me from the day that I met him. He didn't have to be, you know. He's got millions of subscribers on every platform, you know what I mean? What's a little guy like me matter, you know? But he made everybody matter. No matter how big their channels were, if they had a channel or not. Dude, he always made people feel so loved and welcome and just made sure to give them the best experience possible. And that is what I would like to try to do with you guys. This year, hopefully we're gonna grow this channel, hit over 1 million this year. That would be freaking awesome. Get Ryder's channel back up and running, because we took a little bit of time off of that because we've been mourning over here, man. It has not been very easy. So, enough of that. This video is dedicated to you, bro. Brian Barczyk, I love you, dude. I miss you very much. And we're gonna get this place looking real good just for him, because he was top-notch at everything, you know? Let's get to work, guys. Today, we're gonna be getting the snake room all buttoned up. We were working on it yesterday, had Lance over, doing all the electrical, moving some cages around. It's looking really good. I'll show you guys that in just a second. First, we gotta feed all these creatures, give these emus some food. Look how big they're getting, guys. Gigantic, dude. And they're still gonna get bigger. These guys were born May of last year, so they're not even a year old yet. They probably are gonna get about twice this size. And they're just becoming such great birds. The more that they're out wandering the property, gonna touch them and pet them. They know that we feed them, so they appreciate that. Let's feed the chickens, and let's get in that snake room. So I want everything to be just like zoo quality. We redid a lot of the visions. This is the one side now. Have all the 6-footers over there. This huge cage right here is gonna be the new Mangshan cage that we're gonna redo. This is gonna be its own video, okay? Because I'm gonna do it like Serpa design style stuff. I'm gonna bust out my shell and try to really do it how Tanner does his videos, which is freaking awesome. So we're gonna redo all this. I'm gonna redo these eventually because they just need to be fixed up. The background needs to be fixed up a little bit. I'll show you guys how I do all of that when I do this video. Teach you guys how to make these cool landscapes with this, put live plants in here and everything. Another thing that we're really doing to really change the game up, everything is gonna have lights in the cages now. So that way when we're filming, you can put the camera into the cage, and instead of being a dark cage, it's kind of hard to see inside. Everything is gonna have primo lighting, not only for video purposes and aesthetic purposes, but just so you can see these animals in their cages with sunlight, and they just look totally different under the light rather than in a shadow. I got these big LED lights that fit along the top of these vision cages like this. So this vision cage right here, we already put one in. I'm just finishing up the electrical on these. I'm doing this super legit. I'm using these shrink wrap connectors for each one of the cords. And then I'm even taking another piece of shrink wrap and shrink wrapping that together, so all these connections are super safe. They're up to fire code and no electrical problems. You guys know, I've said it in videos before, one of my biggest fears, things catching on fire, killing my animals, man. And unfortunately, it's already happened once to me at the Boca house. I just didn't really know what I was doing with the wiring, I guess. And we had an electrical fire, and that's what killed my big beautiful indigo that I used to have, and he killed a couple other really pretty snakes that I liked as well. So I don't want that to happen in here. So we're just gonna go ahead and make sure this is all up to code and electric is done correctly. So I'm gonna go ahead, throw a little freaking plug on this thing. We're gonna plug it in. I'm gonna show you guys what these lights look like. And then we gotta do it for the rest. This side of the room is almost done. I have the Wi-Fi switches hooked up finally, so everything's on Wi-Fi timers. Super, super easy. I can control it with my phone. We're gonna do the same thing for all these cages on this side as well. So after today, this room should be looking really awesome, and I'm gonna get it all ready because I have a tattoo here tomorrow and it's an absolute mess. I'm tattooing my buddy Richie that lives in the neighborhood. I don't want to drive all the way to the shop and tattoo him, so I gotta get this place looking A1 today. And before we get into today's video, I'd like to let you guys know I'm sponsored by Vision Cages. Vision racks and cages right there, guys. CustomCages.com. The link is down below. Best in the business. There are a lot of cage brands out there, all these PVC cages and stuff like that. Dude, I have been doing this for over 20 years. I've had my Venomous permit for over 20 years also. So not only have I been doing it way before I even had my permit, but I've been licensed and doing Venomous for 20 freaking years, guys, okay? So I've tried everything. I've tried these black PVC cages, tried that PVC rack, which is, the rack is kind of cool, but most of the time these PVC cages have freaking plexiglass windows. And for Venomous, that just does not work. Do not keep venomous snakes in cages with plexiglass doors. I don't care what company that you're using, you need glass. Glass is the strongest. The most important part about glass is it does not warp with heat. And obviously you're keeping heat on your cages with your reptiles. Your reptile room is hot. Those cages after time, they bow out. Even the few that I did have that I use, I stopped using them because they're just extremely dangerous. They warp, they bow out a little bit, and all it takes is a little tiny bow for your snakes to slither right out. It is not safe to keep venomous stuff in. The Vision cage, tried and true for years on end. 20 years, like I said. Some of these cages, especially these little 2-footers right here, and even this one right here, this is a super old style Vision right here. They don't even make these guys anymore. These are the old, like, light colored gray ones. They even made white and yellow ones kind of back in the day. I used to have some of those, got rid of them. Even this cage right here. This cage is probably 25 years old. Easily, and it still is awesome. Holds up, it has not warped at all. It's great, super secure for your animals. So guys, Vision cages, everything in here is all made by Vision. Like, just look at that setup. It's so clean. Even keeping them down on the floor. The rattlesnakes we have down on the floor just because they're easier to work with. We got Bruce, the croc monitor, in there. He's gonna be moved outside shortly because it's getting warmed up. And then Shatid and Rusty, they all got heat lights now and UVB lights in the back just to help their coloration. I'll show you a little sneak peek. Oh, you can see a sneak peek of this sweetheart right here, Cammy. One of my friends actually gifted me that monitor yesterday. Just couldn't keep him in the house anymore, and I'm gonna be building huge outdoor enclosures for them. And it's gonna be super sick. She's only 2 years old. She's gonna get gigantic, but we'll talk more about that later. Let's get back to these lights. So this is the cage that I just finished the electrical for. You can see we got a heat light up there, and then maybe he'll let me come in here. And then that is that 4-foot UV light that I got on Amazon. These things are awesome. So now I just gotta keep going down the line. Next up is Kilo. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna take Kilo out, and I'm gonna show you guys how I do my lighting. There's many ways to light up these Vision cages. A lot of them have recessed lighting, so you can just drop a heat light into it. Like both of these right here have heat lights. All these other cages, I just ordered a bunch of lights for also. They should be here in the next couple of days so we can finish up those. But dude, these cages are just the best. So I'm gonna show you right now how I set up the lighting in mine. So everything is gonna look primo. You're gonna take them out?
Yeah, sure.
Put them in the thing?
Nah.
No?
Can't do it.
You don't wanna do it?
No.
That was just a joke, guys. I'm gonna take Kilo out, but watch him run. He's gonna run.
Behind the glass.
Oh, he's out! He's out! What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So, how I put these lights in the cages. Now, they are 4 feet, a little under 4 feet, okay? Which is why I'm using them, because they're gonna go the whole length of the cage, and I'm still gonna have enough room to throw a power cord out the side. There's a lot of different ways you can do that. You can use the mounts that they come with, but the mounts have screws on them. So when you take the mounts, you screw them into the top of the cages. Now you have tops of screws coming out of your cages, which is no bueno, really. So what I like to do is I'm just gonna drill a couple pilot holes, just like this. I'm gonna take some zip ties. I'm gonna throw a zip tie through these holes, and I'm gonna zip tie these lights to the top, so that way they're super, super secure. The snakes can't pull them down. Zip ties are hella strong, and there's no screws that are gonna be protruding out the top. I'm gonna go ahead and do this side, and I'll show you how we put the lights in. So these lights, they're all linked together also. So you have connection on one side and then a connection on the other side, so you can link them all together. We can't really link them all together because we need more room. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna modify the cords that they give you. So we're just gonna cut this little switch guy off because we don't need it, and then I'm gonna rewire on another cord so I can plug them into the back, and everything will be hooked up to the same timer and on the same schedule. So now that I got the zip ties up there, what we're gonna do is Lance is gonna do one side and I'm gonna do the other side, and we're just gonna zip tie these guys right up in place. I'm gonna angle it like this so all the light is going back into the cage and on the ground. Before we do that, what I gotta do is I just gotta take this guy, cut off this stupid switch right here. We're gonna plug this into this side. We have the holes up top for the zip ties, and the whole reason why I did the holes up top too is because these cages you stack on top of each other. So once I put this cage on top of this cage, you will not even be able to see the zip ties when I trim them up top. So we're gonna take the light, we're gonna put it in just like that. Sure, there's other ways to do this. You guys can get creative and light them however you want. Like I said, these cages are so customizable. It's one of my favorite parts of them. You can put backgrounds in them, like these cages down here. The cages come completely plastic. All that stuff in the back, we use great stuff in cork bark, and we make these cool, really natural backgrounds. I know this is a horrible example right now because this is a cage that we just moved in here and it's an absolute disaster. This is one of the cages that we kept the mangs in at the Boca house. We had them separated, but now we're gonna put them in this big 6-foot vision so they can just grow massive, and it'll be a lot easier to feed them separately. Hopefully they'll be farther enough away from each other to not strike at each other like they did that one time. I remember my female got bit in the head. I was scared to death. Never want that to happen again. Back to this. Light is in there. This cord, drilled another little hole on the side here. We're just gonna thread this through. Just like that. Get rid of that stupid thing. And then Lance, I'm gonna grab this other zip tie. So we got the zip tie right here. Put that through the other hole. If I can freaking find it. Feels like high school. All right, here we go. So see, zip tie is through the top. Go ahead, tighten this mofo down. Make sure my light is sideways so you can, woo! That's not bad. Make it real nice and tight. You see this lip right here? Top of that zip tie goes right underneath it. So then all you gotta do is clip this, trim this mofo like that. Make sure this guy's super tight. Trim this mofo like that. All right, now let's get this cord set up. And these are the plugs that we use for all the wires. So this is just a lamp cable. You buy them in rolls at Home Depot. Get your lights. You can't just go put a plug through a vision cage. You have to drill a small hole somewhere, which is unfortunate. You have to drill a hole in them, but it's just a tiny little hole. Nothing can get through it. Don't worry about it. You gotta do what you gotta do to make your stuff look awesome. These little tiny plugs, you get them at Home Depot. Super easy to use. They unplug. You just strip the wires, put one on each side because there's no ground on these ones. Other lights that have grounds, you're gonna have to use a 3-prong and a different wire. I'll let you guys figure that out, or you can just stay tuned because I'm sure I'm gonna have to do it soon too. So let's plug this thing in and see if my electrical abilities, I feel like they're big. I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm getting better at it, slowly but surely. Hopefully we're perfect. Let's go. Plug this bad boy in. Let's see. Do we have light? Yes! We have light. Look at that, dude. These freaking lights are awesome because it goes from literally one side of the cage to the other. Nice. All right, one down. Put Kilo's glass back. Everything just ate the other day too, so pardon me. Cages are a little bit messy. You couldn't even walk in here the other day. We had all these cages rearranged. It was like playing Tetris in this room, but it was hard because like you had to keep yourself little tiny spaces to squeeze through the cages. They were everywhere. So we have not been able to clean the cages this week, and they just ate a few days ago. So today, hopefully once we get everything done, the next video you guys are gonna watch is gonna be a super deep clean. I actually gotta go to Wild Cargo also because I need more of this stuff because everything needs a substrate change. Just time. At least once a month, you would want to change out absolutely everything just to keep it top notch. So let's go ahead. Let's put Kilo back. Oh, I put a heat light. Did I put a heat light on Kilo? No, I didn't. So I'm gonna go grab a heat real quick. Kilo, you're going back. I love using these Huskies. These new husky bins are freaking tight. Just because for the smaller snakes, obviously the big snakes I don't put in these tiny little huskies, but they do make a bigger one, which I might get soon too. See, I don't like the depth because obviously with some snakes, they like to come all the way up to the top. If I were to put a king or something crazy in here, they can just come flying right out of it. The garbage cans really help with the elevation. It makes them harder for them to just get out. But having a clear top is great. So actually what I might even do is just cut a hole off of my big holding receptacle bin, the big one, and then just put a piece of plexiglass around the whole top, so it's kind of like the same thing, because I really like to be able to see through. It's great. Wish I thought about that long time ago. Hey, don't you get hissy with me. Don't you do it, don't you do it, don't you do it. I love you. I know you don't love me, but I love you. Go ahead. Put you back in here. The only thing I didn't put in here is a heat light for him just yet. So I gotta go grab another heat bulb and stick that in there. But yeah, we're gonna get to doing a bunch more of these cages right now. And I'll show you what it looks like. And we just decided, you see the difference between the light on those cages? See how super well lit those visions are? And then these visions right here, you see we have there's vents in the back of these big visions. You know, honestly, I really like back light. So instead of having light coming forward, kind of making a shadow on your animals and shadows on pretty much everything in here, I want to get rid of the shadows. So we're gonna actually move this out. We're gonna take these lights off right now, and we're gonna put 4-foot UV lights on each one of these cages right now. I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. God, that was so funny. I wish we got that on camera. It makes me, dude, God.
It's not Venomous for real?
Bro, so we're working on this cage right now. No, it's not Venomous for real, bro. She's a sweetheart. Look at this. So, dude, just now, we had the false water. Obviously, I didn't take her out of the cage to do this light because it's a freaking false water cover, guys. I ain't scared of her. She's a sweetheart. That's my big female. Dude, just now, Lance was standing right here, and she was out the cage. Freaking Brandon was like, dude, the snake's out the cage. Dude, he took off. He couldn't even fit through these cages. Lance literally just shoved himself. He made that space right there, and he just ran out of the room. It's so funny, dude. Imagine being one of my friends, and you're scared to death of snakes. Ones that can't even hurt you. I mean, I guess they can hurt you a little bit, but she's not gonna hurt nobody. Alright, let's put you back in your cage. Lance, are you alive? You can come back in, bro. It's a false water cobra. Alright, one more light down. Let's plug this in and see how it looks. And then we're gonna do those 6-footers. Even though I already put lights on them yesterday, these are 6,500 Kelvin lights. I'll even put the link down below for you guys on Amazon. I just bought another pack because I need more for more cages. So I really want to put them in everything. Even these black cages right here, I'm gonna figure out how to put them in there. They're just great, obviously. They look beautiful. They're very cheap. I got a 10-pack of them for 50 bucks. So 10 4-foot lights, $49.99 or something like that. Definitely worth it. They're awesome. You just gotta know a little bit about electrical so you can make yourself some bigger cords. Let's plug this baby in right now. You! Oh man. Yeah, dude. We're putting them in the 6-footers right now. Let's do that. This looks awesome, guys. And then you see how this big 6-foot here doesn't really stack up perfectly on these. I think these are model 433s, I want to believe. But what I'm going to do is once these are more leveled where I want them to be, so everything's perfectly on top of each other, probably going to make a nice wood stand for this and then cover this with wood. Kind of how Tanner, I know I talk about Serpa Design and Tanner all the time. Because I really look up to Tanner. He's awesome. The way that he builds things and the aesthetics of all of his stuff is just so beautiful. But how he has his wood set up in his room, if you haven't seen it, go over and check Serpa Design out. I want to do some wooden just framing for this. That way these spaces are filled up and it'll just be a nice wood partition between all the visions and it'll look freaking primo. So yeah. This is what the snake room has looked like. Probably honestly even worse than this for the last few days. We gotta move the cages around to get to certain things. I'm working in some really close quarters. Like, look at this tiny little area that I have to work with these gigantic venomous snakes, which is, for an inexperienced person, not the way that you wanna be doing it. So please, be very safe. Work in a safe area where you have plenty of room. But obviously, I'm a little bit different. So what we're gonna do with these cages, they were fine. I put the UV lights on the back, but I don't want to do it. Now that I have these 4-footers set up, I want all these visions to have the same freaking lighting and just look so nice. Mark McCarthy at McCarthy's Wildlife, Chandler has made a bunch of videos over at McCarthy's. All his cages have the same lighting. all floor to ceiling visions. It's just so clean and beautiful looking. So that's what we're gonna do here. But I gotta take these snakes out of the cages to work with them. Bruce, my croc monitor, he's awesome. He's not a mean animal. So I could probably keep Bruce in his cage while I put his lighting in. Maybe even Rusty, but Rusty gets a little bit curious. So Rusty and Shatid we're gonna have to take out. Right now, I'm gonna try to really carefully take out Batman and Robin, even though this is a very dangerous way to do this, just because I literally have like no room right here. So you want to be extremely cautious, know exactly how your animals are acting. I fed them 2 days ago, so they both have meals. As you can see, Batman's coming out right now. First we got Robin, my big old beautiful female. She's awesome and growing back a little bit. Bittersweet now. Now this animal is even more special to me, dude, because you guys know that her rattle broke off. Batman's coming out of his cage right now, so I really gotta watch my feet. He's very striky lately inside of his cage. So I just gotta keep an eye on him. You guys remember a long time ago, she broke her rattle. It's coming back decently. So how that happened, I never really mentioned it in the video before because I didn't want to make Brian feel bad about it. It wasn't his fault anyways. We were outside back at the Boca house with Brian filming a video for his channel. He was putting her back in the trash can. She accidentally smacked her rattle on the side of this trash can and it broke off the next day. And that was the last time I got to do animal stuff with Brian. I saw him at Animal Con this last year and it was awesome. I really regret not getting a picture with him and getting to hang out with him as much as I wanted to at this last Animal Con, guys. Because man, he was just so bombarded with people at this last Animal Con, obviously, because everybody knows what's going on in his situation right now. I just didn't want to be another one of those people taking pictures with he's one of my homies. I don't need a picture of him to know that he's my freaking homie, you know what I mean? But still, it's so stinking sad, man. But at least we're going to continue on his legacy, and we're going to teach you guys about these awesome, beautiful, misunderstood animals. That, yeah, they are deadly. They can really mess you up, but with the right amount of knowledge and the appreciation, you know how to work with these gentle giants. Sometimes they're not that gentle. You just got to know what you're doing. Gotta respect that animal, learn how to read their body language, and just learn about them. And that's what we're here to do, guys. We're here to spread love and learn about these amazing creatures. Now that I got them out of this cage, I'm gonna drill some holes and get this light in there. Save you guys all the headache of that, watching me be an electrician. Woo! Look at that. Definitely have to just put them all in the same cages, because that is just, it's freaking awesome. Normally you can only really appreciate them when I take them out and you see them under these lights, but I want people to be able to safely be able to come in here without me having to take animals out on tours, so that way they can just admire them inside their enclosures. Let's get these guys put back real quick. And then we gotta work on Bruce. I'm gonna try to do it with Bruce inside of his cage. Hopefully he cooperates with me today. He might try to bite me. I'm not exactly sure. We're gonna figure that out here. Midwest hook, guys. MidwestTongs.com. Once all this is done, I'm gonna put all my sponsors and some cool artwork on the walls too. The companies that support me, I appreciate you guys so much. Just like Midwest, man. This hook is the freaking best, especially for these big, thick rattlesnakes. Even if you guys got big Burmese pythons at home, big retics, any heavy-bodied snake, these hooks just make it so easy. Plenty thick for these guys, and they're super strong because these snakes get really heavy. And these guys are probably about 20 pounds. I think that world record, it's not the world record anymore, but that world record Burmese python that my buddy Kevin caught that we did a video a long time ago, pretty sure that snake weighed 150 pounds, which is crazy. So let's go ahead. Get Robin out. Gotta wash my foot. Another thing is you don't want to just grab the whole snake with the hook because it's still very uncomfortable for them. You always want to have them with 2 points. So whether you're using your hands to hold your non-venomous stuff or venomous, you always want to still give them that support so it's not just a whole bunch of dead body weight on one portion of the hook. Because if your snake is big enough, you can really hurt them. Break their ribs, all sorts of things will happen that are very uncomfortable for them. So you want to keep them as comfortable as possible. Gonna ease her back into her enclosure. Close it nice and safely, and let's do Bruce. There we go. Bruce has a new light. And it's getting warmer out, so hopefully in the next couple days, we're gonna move Bruce back outside. And I'm gonna set up a new heat situation for him, so that way I don't have to keep bringing him in. Even though he's a nice monitor, he's pretty chill. I didn't even take him out when I put this light in. Don't mind the cage, he just ate a chick the other day, and he just absolutely annihilated it. it. Let's see how he's acting today. Normally he's pretty good. Like he'll come up to you. I can pet him sometimes if he knows that he's not about to get chicken or something. Right, dude? I'm not gonna mess with you right now because I have a lot of stuff to do today. And I don't feel like taking a bite from you because then I'll go to the hospital and I can't get everything done. So, but you can see Bruce is doing absolutely great here. Now we gotta change out Rusty and Shatid's light also. So we're gonna do these last 2 cages right here on camera, and then I'm gonna put the pedal to the metal, slam a Red Bull, and knock these out, and then we'll show you what everything looks like. I'm so pumped to see this room once we clean it and all the cages are back in order. So let's go grab Rusty real quick. I don't have a freaking snake hook by me, and he's in shed. So I'm just gonna go in here. I'm gonna try to be. Whoa, you see that? When he's in shed, he means business, bro. He will bite me if he's in shed. Oh, where's the snake hook? Right here. What a dum dum. So let's just go in here. He's very hissy and puffy right now because he's in shed and his eyesight isn't the greatest. Look, he's already starting to peel. So I'm going to be very, very careful with him. I don't want to mess up this shed. I would love for him to shed in one piece this time, even though he kind of has a couple little holes right here where he's already broken his shed out a little bit. Other than that, he's doing pretty good, right? My sweet dude. Let's put you in the trash can just like this, very carefully, so I do not mess his shed up. Thank you, sir. Yeah, even just gripping him too hard breaks that shed. So I want him to pull it off in one big piece. That means Gianna could do something really cool with it. All right, so now that he's out of his cage, boom, let's get a light in here. Just looking so good, dude. These are 4-foot lights and 6-foot visions. So it ends about here and here too. So just a full spectrum. It lights up everything, which is he was awesome. And not only did we just do a little spot clean for Rusty because he's been eating a good bit lately. He had a snake and then he ate a couple drumsticks. All the other stuff. We tried feeding him a rat yesterday. He wouldn't eat it. Figured why not try. Misted it down a little bit. That way, hopefully he sheds in one piece. And that way we get a nice, big, beautiful shed. Let's get you back in here. Go, dude. Raise the humidity level up for him. Makes his shed a little bit easier because it's coming off any day. I touched it right there on accident and broke it. But I want it to stay as perfect as possible. There you go, my dude. Look, you can see. Look how much better that lighting is. All right, one more left. We got Shatid, and then we can start putting things back in order and do the other stuff. So we already took Shatid out. And when we first came in here today, we opened up Cammie's cage. Just get her used to coming out and being sweet. But I'm gonna introduce you guys to Cammie right now, honestly. Because, dude, she is just such an absolute sweetheart. Alex, hope you're watching, bro. So Alex donated her to me. He had her in the house, and he had a big enclosure. Oh, she wants to go in there. Good thing there's no snake in there, girl. So he had her in a big enclosure in his living room, but really wanted her to be somewhere where she could eventually be outside. Because, like I said, she's 2 years old, and she is gonna be gigantic. She is such a sweetheart of a lizard. So cool, and I couldn't pass it up because you guys know I've had my fair share of monitors and my black dragons were crazy and I could not even think about doing this with them. They would have ripped my faces off. But she is just such a great animal, has been raised with nothing but love and care. She's awesome. Normally I wouldn't let her just jump in a cage like that, but we just cleaned out Shatid's cage, got her fresh water and everything. Obviously I'm not gonna let her stay in here, she's just exploring. I just figured to put her on camera right now while she came out. I didn't even think she was gonna come out, but we've had this cage open and she did come out. Hey, it's okay, baby. See, she's still gonna be a monitor. Patience, guys. That's all it takes. Patience. She's being crazy. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get her back. It's okay, Mama. You're making a mess. You're making a mess. I gotta put you back. Come on, let me take you back out. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, I just got whipped in the forehead. Oh, that hurt. Alright, Cammie. Come here, sweetheart. Closer. Back in your cage, Mama. There you go. Part of having monitors, guys. Sometimes they act like the wild animals that they are. But, like I said, she is a sweetheart. Don't let that fool you. Just typical monitor behavior. Oh, she got me real good too. So now I'm gonna go ahead and clean Shatid's cage again, get the lights put on here, and we're gonna get back to work. I just want to show you guys real quick. You know what I'm thankful for on times like right now? Is you guys know the Boca house and the carpet at the Boca house. Remember cleaning cages? Dude, the carpet would get just like this, man. It was an absolute mess. This at least is easy to clean. I love this snake house so much. The wood floors and just the way it's all set up. And now that we're redoing everything, I'm super pumped, man. And it's really time to get back to work, bro. It's not only just because like I need to, not only to like provide for my family, to make sure that we have nice, comfortable lives. My daughter gets to do everything that she could ever dream of in her life. But dude, just doing this and teaching you guys about how to set up your aquariums. Just teaching you guys. A lot of people would have just got super scared about that monitor. They were like, oh, that monitor is being mean. Dude, the monitor was not being mean. No, it's being a monitor. And that's the whole part that we try to teach you. That's what Brian tried to teach everybody, just to take that fear away from these amazing animals. Yeah, she does calm down, and she is a freaking sweetheart sometimes. But also, when she's in a new environment, she doesn't know where she is. They're scared, you know? It's more of a thing like that. It's all about body language, guys. Dude, I really need to get back to it. December was definitely a little bit of a funk. Getting back to everything, man. And it feels good. Especially having the snake room being done soon. Everything's gonna have awesome lighting and great cages, dude. It's gonna be so stinking sick. Shatid, I've also wanted to address this. Dude, I think I need to start putting like acid tracing or something on the back of her hood. Be very careful right now. From that one incident with that stupid water bowl, you can still see it didn't heal 100% right now. And she kind of has a small bit of scarring. I don't handle her like I handle Rusty. There is no way in hell. I do not trust her at all. Even that little interaction right now was pushing it, but she wasn't being super hissy and she was doing her tongue flicks, which means the snake is just doing their tongue flicks. They're just trying to check the area out. Now she's gonna be super defensive, watch. Her tail's right here, watch what happens. Exactly. I'm behind glass now. Oh, that's how you repay me. But it's beautiful, guys. The 6-foot vision tower all has the same lighting in it. I'm really happy that we changed it out because I am super pleased with the aesthetic of this. It looks great. Don't mind the floor, we're in the middle of working. So now we're gonna get all these cages pushed back and I'm gonna start working on these 5-foot visions. I'm gonna get 4 more 5-footers and put them here and then just move everything down a little bit. So we'll have all the 6-foots here and then 2 towers of 5-foots, which is gonna be freaking awesome. So let's get this done. Still a little bit of a mess. But guys, this is just in progress. These cages eventually will be gone. I'm gonna get a whole nother stack of these 5-foot visions here at the end, okay? So I just gotta hit them up. I actually have a whole lot of visions for sale. I haven't even put them online yet. But if you guys are in South Florida, you wanna come pick up these visions, I think I have 4 TV visions, 2 3-footers, which are these guys right here. These are the 3-footers. So I got 2 of those. And then I have a couple other square cages, kind of like these arboreal cages down here. Just, I think the size is smaller. So yeah, definitely hit me up about that. But guys, this room is coming out really, really cool. I can't wait till it's just vision. And then even this side, just these lights make such an absolute difference. Eventually something will go in these guys. I might even have the snakes with these for now, but there's absolutely no rush. I want to work on these cages first. I'm gonna start working on this here shortly. The next step, look at the lighting here. Like, what? It's just so awesome. Dude, look at the contrast of them with this lighting. It's just so awesome. You can see Bruce perfectly. Hi, dude. You're basking in the sunlight. Even Rusty. Rusty's in shed right now. And dude, his colors look great with these lights. Shatid is enjoying the heat. She's in her little box right now, getting nice and warmed up. This little guy, who I have no idea what your name is, came from Chandler. Got heat on him. Dude, these lights are just awesome. I ordered some more lights for these cages. We ran out, so we really can't do anything else today. And then I have to measure these 3-footers, see exactly which LED bars are gonna fit, order 4 more for these. And then all of these cages are set up differently. You see how they have these sockets inside there? It's kind of hard to see. Comment down below, what would look better? Should I just put lights inside of there? Or should I put more LED bars and everything? Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. Screw it, it's gonna cost some more money, but you know what? I want everything to look so pristine on camera. So that way you guys can just get a better interaction of these animals and see them better. Look, dude, look at Kilo's cage. You can never see him like that before. He's always hiding and no light, you can barely see him. Even the other lights that we had were nowhere near as bright as these. Amazon link for the lights are down below, and then these are the B&N Link Wi-Fi smart plugs that I use for all the other cages. Everything is controlled by an app on your phone, and it is awesome. Makes life super easy. Oh yeah, we gotta get Cammy out and put her back in here. Let's do that real quick. Cammy, Hello, sweetheart. We have to put you back in your cage right now, okay? So don't spaz out on me like you did before. I'm gonna try to do this as smooth and nicely as possible, okay? I'm just gonna pick you up. Just, no, just don't freak out. Ready, gotta be quick. No, baby. You gotta stay in your cage. You have to stay in your cage. Thank you. Just like that. Alright guys, well, that's it for today. Figured while we were in here moving around things, you guys saw the last video of the under construction. We built that door on the outside slowly but surely. It's getting there. It just takes some time, guys. I gotta wait on ordering some more lights. But that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. TylenOnTattoos.com for all of your merch. I'll see you guys around a lot more often. We're getting back to work. We're gonna be pumping these videos out and just taking care of the property and getting things finally finished so you guys can come do tours here. So, till then, peace out.